14-game NBA slate. We're actually going to have 2 plays in this video for it, although we've been slacking in the month of December. At first thought it was maybe just some bad luck, but it's obviously on us. We started the month, both of us traveling. Last week, I was in Canada for something all week, for something that honestly had my entire attention. We're both traveling this week for the holidays. Dave had the flu last week. We've just not had the focus that we need, which is just totally on us. Like, we haven't done a full YouTube video in 3 weeks, haven't had more than a day to really sit in my desk and look at the slate game by game the way we usually do. That's probably why December has been our worst month now for actually our 3rd straight season. It sucks. We got to be better. At least we're becoming super aware of it. We weren't going to post any videos until Christmas Day and take a few days off, but actually had a very good amount of time to look at this big slate. And then there's nothing tomorrow, so we'll have that full day to look ahead to Thursday. So we'll do a couple plays in this video and then a couple plays on Thursday. Obviously, when we get to 2026, when we're right through the holidays, that's when we get absolutely on the grind, back to the normal schedule and routine through the final 4 or 5 months of the season. I think that's maybe actually why January and February tend to be our best months every year, because we do so bad in December that we're in full panic mode trying to reverse that. But hopefully we can start that a little early this year, right now, to finish the year strong. Here we go. Getting right to the first one. Quick note, we use the Your Way feature for both of these. And there's the first one. Hartenstein's had 6+ rebounds in all 21 games this season, averaging 10.5 with 11 and 9 in his last 2 against the Spurs, looking for 6. Wemby has had 6+ rebounds in his last 63 games, averaging 11.8, had 9 and 8 in his last 2 against the Thunder. Stephon Castle has had 10+ points in 19 of 20 games this season, with 13 or more points in all 19 of those, and his only time missing it, a game he got injured and only played 16 minutes, averaging 18.1, and had 22 and 33 in his last 2 against the Thunder, 10 points. And then Josh Giddey, 6+ rebounds, had it in 43 of his last 46 games, averaging just over 9 a game on the season, and he's had it in his last 5 against the Hawks, with 13 and 9 in his last 2 against them, 6 rebounds. There's the first one, and here's the second. Getting right to the second one, and there it is. Tobias Harris, 8+ points and 3+ rebounds. He's had the points in 18 of 19 games this season, with 9 or more points in all 18 of those, averaging 13.4. The Kings letting up the 8th most points to power forwards this season, 8 points. He's had the 3+ rebounds in his last 11 games, averaging 5, and he's had it in his last 24 games against the Kings. 8 points, 3 rebounds. Joel Embiid, 15+ points. He's had that in 9 of his last 10, averaging just over 20, and he's had it in 28 of his last 29 against the Nets. Hasn't played the last couple games. At home, should be a lot of energy, 15 points. And then Siakam, think the Cafe's first time rolling with him this season, which is pretty nuts. He's had 4+ rebounds in 46 of his last 47, averaging 6.7, and he's had it in 33 of his last 34 games against the Bucks, 4 rebounds. And then finally, Cat, 7+ rebounds, had in 26 of 27 games this season, averaging 11.5, going into Minnesota to play his old team in the 2 games since he left. He's had 20 and 10 rebounds against them. There it is. So there's the first one I went through. There's the second one. Hopefully a nice night for the Cafe. Then we'll post a video tomorrow for a lot of sports on Thursday. I'll talk to you guys later.